A deluge from a force of nature. Hundreds of homes and businesses in Sheffield were submerged during the floods of 2007. Places like Ellswood's Mill, a business centre here on Nursery Road. But today, it's a distant memory for staff like General Manager Catherine Beattie. There was a metre of water on the building's ground floors more than 10 years ago. It got into the Victorian red brick it's made of, and it took them 3 months to get back up and running again.
So the river started to rise and we could see it coming through the old grey fence that we had then. And it started to rise. It came across the river first and then came down into our front car park. It took only about an hour to an hour and a half to get to probably about this high on these markers here. And then we were lucky it didn't get any deeper than that.
The proximity of businesses like this to the River Don mean they're vulnerable to flooding, which back in 2007 cost millions of pounds of damage. Now a flood protection scheme in the lower Don Valley has seen defences like this wall built to protect buildings from rising water.
It's made a huge amount of increase to our peace of mind. We now know that we can withstand a much higher level of water coming down the river. The river can be a lot more fierce, there's so much more capacity to it that we don't worry anymore that we might be flooded like we were in 2007. There's a monitoring station on the bridge which shows us at any point how deep the river is at that point, which means that we can watch it rise and then fall again as the river level does.
Well, there are now flood defences like this wall up and down a 5-mile stretch of the River Don, stretching all the way up to Meadowhall near the M1. It's not come cheap, it's cost £25 million, but some of that money's come from businesses in places like this who are keen not to see a repeat of 2007.
We've been building flood defences across about an 8-kilometre stretch of the River Don here and uprating some of the existing flood defences. We've also got a process of improving channel maintenance so that the water will go more quickly down the river when it does rain.
The council say the lower Don Valley is one of the most important areas for the city's economy, and it's claimed these defences will significantly reduce the risk of more flooding. They know only too well the power of the river here. Today's another step forward in trying to keep it at bay.